The Russian invasion of Ukraine is entering its third year this week. And of course, it's even in the news more so right now because President Trump is trying to broker a peace deal. But in the middle of the bombings and the fighting is a woman from Tennessee. She lived in Nashville and here in Knoxville, playing music and working in real estate. I talked with her from the middle of a war zone about how dramatically her life has changed in just a matter of years.
'Cause a man does what a man does.
This was life for Audrey MacAlpine just a few years ago.
So won't you be my...
Making a name for herself on the Nashville music scene.
I was pretty much living the Nashville dream.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
I was playing the upright bass with a girl named Sierra Farrell, who just last week won, I think, 4 Grammys.
Well, I got a heart that burns with a fever.
Now her life is not the sounds of bluegrass, but of bombings and artillery fire. She is here in Kyiv, Ukraine.
This is one of the Orthodox cathedrals. It's like a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
She's just 7 hours from the front lines of a war that has now spanned 3 years. Audrey will never forget when the war began.
I remember being at the Station Inn, which is a famous bluegrass venue in downtown Nashville, and I saw that the war had started on my phone. I think an alert popped up on the screen.
She wanted to help, so she got on a plane with her mom and flew to Poland.
We made like pizza and hot cocoa and coffees and things because people were actually dying in the line as they were trying to leave Ukraine. And women would come up to me and just like tears in their eyes saying, I haven't seen my kid smile for months.
It was supposed to be a quick trip, but she never left.
There's something about doing humanitarian work and giving back that really gives to you in a way. And I just felt like where else in the world would I be than right here where people so desperately needed help.
Her goals started to shift.
I started to realize that maybe my best use for what I had seen would be not only to just be helping people, but maybe to be sharing what I was seeing.
So she applied for a news job, working for an English-speaking network, and got a job as a news reporter.
Joining me now in the studio in London is the journalist Audrey MacAlpine.
She's been embedded with troops on the front lines in some of the most dangerous areas of Ukraine.
Because Russian drones could find our position here now that we've just sort of given it away.
I've done trips, like I've gone to bomb factories near the front lines and worked with soldiers. I think it's a bit like being a lobster in a boiling pot, where slowly the heat just turns up without you really realizing it.
All of this, and Audrey says, life is relatively normal.
The ladies are still washing the windows and walking to the bakery, but they're maybe just sort of looking up over their head to make sure nothing falls down on their head.
Audrey has found purpose overseas and has no plans to leave.
It's hard to put the genie back in the bottle. The humanity that one feels actually living in a conflict zone, it's heightened. Everything's heightened. Life means more. Love means more. The things you say to people carry more weight because there's not this promise of tomorrow.
To follow along on Audrey's journey in Ukraine, follow her at Instagram at Audrey MacAlpine. She is truly doing amazing things over there in the middle of dangerous situations.
Well, to just pick up and go and do that voluntarily is pretty incredible.
After you live a life on the music scene, then you go into a completely different circumstance and decide to stay.
It's amazing.